Hi, everyone. It's nice to be with you here today. And thank you, Minister, for your presentation. I would like to reflect a little bit on that and mention the word ecosystem, because I think it's good to think of our society and not only nature in terms of ecosystem. So the role of Festa, the Center for Sustainability in Iceland that I come from, apart from the educational and the awareness raising aspect of our work, we are also supporting the growth of an ecosystem that really is capable of embracing the all-around challenge involved in addressing global and local challenges that we are all faced with. And what that means is that it means collaboration across sectors, across disciplines, across generations, across the public and private sector more than before, between science and governance and businesses. And it also underlines and underscores the importance of the collaboration and partnership that we are building with LAPAS in Latvia. So the challenges that humanity is facing are all interrelated on that note. COVID-19 really brought home some of these challenges, including climate change, biodiversity, lack of biodiversity, and pollution. And it has also underlined the issue of social equality, or rather growing social inequalities, also because of COVID, but before COVID as well. And this is obviously a challenge that needs to be addressed both by the private sector and public sector, but also schools, education, and so on and so forth. One of the things I want to talk about and mention is the importance of us revisiting values. Like, what is it that we value? We can see how we are all revisiting values in the titles of some of the books coming out now, some of the most remarkable books coming out now. Conferences, campaigns, legal frameworks, for example, the Green Deal by the EU, which the Minister mentioned earlier. Values is a new book, which is going to be a prominent raw material for COP26, which is the climate conference of the United Nations, which will be held in November this year. Just one thing that I want to mention in this context. I mean, we are revisiting the idea of a GDP. Does it really measure prosperity in the way that we are looking at it now? But another thing I just want to share with you, Mark Carney, the author of Values, says in his books, which I think is really elaborative. How is it that we measure, that we value timber for sale more than we value the actual beautiful old tree in the Amazon rainforest? And while this is the case, we really have to revisit values, how we value prosperity and economic growth. So we also need to restore in a natural context ecosystems and enhance biodiversity, on top of radically reducing pollution in the world. We need to make sure that nature can restore its ability to regenerate itself and its systems. And I would like to refer to the biospheres and the planetary boundaries by Johan Rockström, and the new documentary film that has just been released on Netflix, which is a wonderful, it's a wonderful, brilliant way of taking stock of the state we are in the world today. And so climate change is closely related to inclusion and social equality. So today in our meeting, we are focusing on capacity building, empowering various groups in society, and unleashing the agency in people to engage, to express their view, to think up solutions, and to be part of the equation. This includes revisiting our ideas of hierarchy, reinvigorating our relationship to democracy and fellow human beings. This entails understanding the imbalance in growing inequality and what that means for our family, your people, the people you never meet. They are not part of our day-to-day crowd, but they are they are an important part of society, local or global. The organism and ecosystem that is humanity living on planet Earth. So Festa is the Icelandic Center for Sustainability and Corporate Social Responsibility. We have over 140 members, the smallest and largest companies in Iceland. We have municipalities, including the city of Reykjavik, largest universities, and for example, the Environmental Agency. We are a bridge builder where conversation and collaboration is needed. We are an energetic guiding light, I guess, when it comes to developments in the areas that we are discussing here today. You know, we are used to talking about corporate social responsibility, but I'd like to challenge that by saying today we are going through a shift in the ways in which we think about our economies and social and good governance. All this to say that sustainability has really become a mainstream theme in everything that we should be taking decisions about. So we used to sometimes think about corporate social responsibility and sustainability as an add-on, but now these are really fundamental aspects of everything that we need to be doing and thinking. Festa's collaboration with LAPAS is very important and we highly value it. We are faced with collective global challenges that respect no boundaries, and we can only solve and address them by working together across sectors, knowledge bases, generations, and countries. While we do this, while we join hands in doing this, inclusion is not an add-on or an afterthought. Social inclusion needs to go hand in hand in our more general intention to address global challenges and challenge the agency of human beings to find solutions and their place in the world at the same time. So not to put the inclusionists aside, but rather make sure that they are always in our minds, in our attention, as we go along to address some of the biggest challenges we're faced with. We have no time to lose. Before COVID, we were already off track globally in reaching these sustainable development goals. With COVID, the challenges the sustainable development goals want to resolve have been put on steroids. It's nothing less. Festa, LAPAS, our countries are working together to support our ability to reach the SDGs. We are living the mission of the SDGs. Our goal is to elevate the agency of experts, responsible decision makers, and young people in becoming the owners and stewards of the SDGs in Iceland, Latvia, and elsewhere. I'd like to thank Ines and her colleagues at LAPAS for inviting us to be a part of this joint effort, for opening up learning and sharing opportunities between us, between companies, public administration, experts, and young people in both our countries, so that we can all grow into the role as SDG ambassadors and change makers for a more sustainable and prosperous world. Thank you very much.